Hi, and welcome to the Clarity Cure. I'm so excited you're here. You are in the right place if you're a creative, passionate woman who wants to do good and make the world a better place, but you're a little unclear about what direction to go in, how to get started, or if what you want will even work. So in this video, I'm going to teach you the 3 key ingredients you need to get clarity around making your impact. You are going to learn a quick way to narrow down your ideas and pick a direction for your purposeful career or business, how to feel more motivated and focused to take action on your purposeful ideas, and why you need to align your purposeful hustle with the life that you want and how to do that. Before we get started though, let me introduce myself. I'm Amy and I'm a certified career and business coach. I help women find their direction and craft a supportive plan to move forward and stay motivated and productive. Basically, I specialize in helping women clarify their impactful ideas and then take those consistent, aligned actions toward manifesting them. So, before I knew my calling and how to create it in the world, I knew I wanted to make this difference, but I felt totally lost. I wanted to be one of those people who introduce themselves with pride, like at a party when someone said, "What do you do?" I wanted to respond with something cool, something I was proud of, something meaningful or creative, but I didn't feel clear on my direction or where to focus, and I was listening to everyone else except myself, so I had no confidence. Okay, fast forward. After I went through the process I'm about to take you on, I went from feeling directionless and stuck to feeling confident, impactful, and empowered. Like I was taking action not only toward becoming the person I wanted to be, but also like I was using my creativity and passion to create the kind of world I wanted to live in. So that's what I want to help you with today. This process works at any stage of the game, whether you're brand new and wondering what to do with your life, or you're evaluating options like which job to take or which business to start, or if you're already on your path and just wondering what awesome new offering to create next. So don't feel the need to spend more than an hour on this. Of course, you can come back and tweak when we're finished, but I don't want you to get caught up in analysis paralysis or try to figure out every perfect detail. So if you feel yourself getting stuck, write the first thing that pops into your mind and move on. Like I said, you could totally change it later, but let's just get it all out on the worksheet or your journal and just see what happens. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. So clarity key number 1 is to narrow down your ideas. So if you're anything like me, you are passionate about tons of stuff. So it's really tough to narrow down your ideas and pick a direction. When you have a lot of awareness, it can be a gift and a curse because, yay, I can see all these options, but also, oh no, which option do I choose? And so most conventional advice will have you think, what are you qualified to do? What are your skills? And that is a useful part of the story, but you're a creative. We gotta go deeper. So instead of trying to fit inside these boxes of what someone else thinks you're good at, I want you to ask yourself this question. How do I want to feel? So logic is really important, but for passionate people, passion and emotion have to be a part of the story. Because if you're not feeling it, you're not going to follow through. So we want to get you to a place where you're not only doing the things you want to do, but where you're feeling how you want to feel. For example, I have a former client named Kylie who was this super successful accountant. She made tons of money, but she felt like she couldn't be herself with her team. And she felt like she wasn't really making a difference in the world by crunching numbers. So she knew she wasn't satisfied, but she didn't know which path to take. So if you are at all confused about which path to take, I want you to ask yourself what I asked Kylie. How do I want to feel in my work? So when I asked Kylie this question, everything kind of snapped into place. She said, I want to feel proud, authentic, purposeful, valued, and engaged. So then we were able to look for opportunities where she could feel those feelings in her work. And she ended up finding an amazing job at a for-purpose startup where she really gets to experience those feelings on a daily basis. So let's make this work for you. I want you to grab a sheet of paper or the worksheet and quickly jot down all of the directions you're currently considering. Then you're going to write the top 5 things you want to feel from your work. Pause the video now and just jot down what immediately comes to mind. Okay, great. So now on that same sheet of paper or in the workbook, make 2 columns. One should say things that inspire and energize me, and the other should say things that drain me. So you're going to take a few minutes and jot down the biggest things that inspire you and then the biggest things that drain you. Pause the video and do this now. Great job. Okay, so now take a look at your feelings list and take a look at your energized and inspired list. Now you have a set of criteria that you can use to evaluate all the directions you're exploring. For example, maybe you're thinking, hey, I think I want to start freelancing. But if dealing with clients and not having a steady paycheck drains you, you may want to go ahead and knock that option off the list. So go back to where you wrote all of the directions that you were considering and just take a moment to circle the top 3 directions that are the most promising based on the way you want to feel and what energizes you. Okay, great work. So basically, in this exercise, we've narrowed down the paths that might be a fit by filtering them through the lens of feeling. To get clear on what path you want to take, you have to get clear of how you want to feel when you're on that journey. Which brings us to clarity key number 2. Get motivated to take actions on these purposeful ideas. Okay, this is the most important step. Actually taking action on your ideas can be really challenging because that's where the fear pops up. So for you to feel comfortable taking action, we need to ground your mission in something bigger than just you, so that when you hit roadblocks, you'll have the motivation to keep going. So in this step, we're going to brainstorm about your mission and why it's important in the world. So in a second, we're going to grab your worksheet or a sheet of paper and start brainstorming on these questions. But first, I just want to give you an example. So I have a client named Jenna whose mission is to spread cultural awareness by selling ethical fashion from indigenous cultures all around the globe. Her theory is that the more awareness humans have of other cultures, the more we'll understand each other, and then the less conflict and violence we'll have. So even though starting an ethical fashion line seemed like this huge, scary goal, she kind of realized it wasn't even about her. It was about the way she was using her skills and passions to make this tiny ripple effect that might lead to the end of war and violence. Because her business is grounded in something much bigger than herself, her motivation comes from this really deep source. So now I'm going to take you through this powerful exercise to help reveal your deeper source of motivation and your big why for this purposeful job or business. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video and just spend a few minutes brainstorming on the questions on the screen. No right or wrong. Welcome back. Now I want you to look back at your answer to this question. If you could solve one problem for the world, what would it be? Your mission is the solution to this problem. In a moment, we're going to get into the how, as in, oh my God, how will this work? But right now, I just want you to really feel into the guts of why you're doing this in the first place. Take a moment to really feel into this with your heart and your belly. Breathe it in. What is your vision for humanity when you meaningfully and creatively contribute to solving this problem? Go ahead and pause and respond on paper or your worksheet. Okay, welcome back. So, regardless of the how and the form that your mission takes, your direction is tied to the solution you want to create for the world. Which brings us to clarity key number 3. Align your hustle with the life you want. So the third key is all about making sure your meaningful work aligns with your juiciest, most exciting, most fulfilling life. Because as much as your mission is about the world, it's also about you. Basically, when you want meaningful work, you have 2 options. You can start or you can join. So starting means starting a for-purpose business or organization or blog, like my client Jenna. And joining means getting a job at a for-purpose business or organization, like Kylie. It's also completely fine if you want to join and learn while you're building your own start hustle on the side. Okay, so for example, I have a client named Trina who writes a blog about her experiences with postpartum depression so that other women dealing with mental illness won't feel so alone. But she's not really at the point yet where it's paying all her bills, so she has a job at a mental health advocacy organization so she can still do something she's really passionate about while building her business. So when you're deciding whether to join, start, or do some combo of the 2, here are a few things to consider. What season of life are you in right now? How much risk feels okay for you? How much responsibility do you actually want? Which option best serves your mission? And which option best fits your ideal life? So let's break a few of these down. When you think about the responsibility of founding and running your own business, nonprofit, Etsy shop, blog, whatever, what immediately comes up for you? Do you feel energized and excited by the total creative freedom and control? Or do you feel like, oh my God, that's so much work and way too much to be in charge of? There is no right or wrong here. It's just genuinely about what works for you and your life. So in terms of season, think about where you're at in life. Are you this footloose and fancy-free person, or are you all about getting the mortgage paid off? For example, my client Trina has 2 small kids, so we had to figure out a way for her to pursue her dreams in a way that worked for the overall context of her life. And for you, that might look like having a bridge job or a part-time job or a remote job or some combination of starting and joining, like she did. So I want you to just mentally think through your responsibilities and your season of life. No need to write this down, but just take a sec to think through where you're at. Okay, great. Now let's create a vision for your ideal life, starting with your ideal day. So grab a sheet of paper or the workbook and journal out what your ideal day looks like. Don't edit yourself. Think, what are you doing? When? What are you wearing? Who's there? How much money are you earning? How much are you spending? Pause the video for a moment and jot your answers down. Okay, great. Welcome back. So now I want you to be a detective and look for clues. When you look at your answers, what clues do you notice about whether you should start or join? For example, if your ideal day is all about having total freedom and control over your schedule, you may want to start something where you're completely in charge of how you spend your time. If your ideal day is all about having long and meaningful conversations with like-minded people, you may not want to join a job where you're working in isolation. So just pause for a moment and jot down the clues and insights you've gained. Okay, great. So in the third clarity key, you looked at your overall personal preferences, the big picture context of your life, and whether you're a starter, a joiner, or some combination of the two. Amazing work. So by this point, we've put together some big pieces of this clarity puzzle. We've narrowed down your ideas by figuring out how you want to feel in your work. We've grounded your impactful ideas in a mission so that you can stay motivated. And we've decided on how you want to manifest that mission, whether it's starting a purposeful business or organization of your own, joining one that already exists, or a combination of the two. So I don't want you to freak out if you don't have every single answer 100% down yet. This process brings up both excitement and fear, but I really want to leave you with the truth that if you have a desire to make a difference, it's on purpose. And I'm 100% sure that your mission is bigger than your fear. I'm so proud of you for answering the call and using your passion and creativity to create the kind of life you want and the kind of world that you want to live in. So, I want you to pick one tiny action step that you can take this week to further your journey. It can be small, like updating your resume, or it can be huge, like actually starting that blog or writing that business plan. Now that you have all of this new insight and awareness, don't procrastinate. Write this intention down, and for a little bonus accountability, you can either email me or share your action step on Instagram by taking a picture, tagging me, and hashtagging it the Clarity Cure. I sincerely hope that this has been helpful for you, and I'm really excited to hear about what you've learned. Don't forget that I am totally here for you as you step more fully into your purpose. So if you desire more support, I highly encourage you to book a complimentary call with me and see if coaching feels like a good fit. Whether or not we ever play together, remember, your passion is on purpose.